Hi everyone and welcome to this week's live episode of Bonkers.ie TV, where we're all about smarter money and keeping you updated on everything that's happening in the world of personal finance and consumer affairs. I'm Dara and this week we're going to talk about mortgage switching. As you know, at Bonkers.ie we're all about switching because we know that switching saves, and your mortgage is no different, but obviously it's a little bit more of a longer process. So we have Conor McGowan, who is Head of Mortgages from KBC Ireland, who has come in today to talk to us about mortgage switching. So thank you very much, Conor, for joining us.
Thanks, Dara, for having me.
So first of all, Conor, are banks open to switching? Because I think sometimes there's a perception that one bank won't take on another bank's mortgage.
Absolutely, banks are open for switching. I think we can see through our own hubs and contact centre, etc., that more and more customers are coming to us looking to switch their mortgage. People are much more savvy about what's out there, what the availability of product is, and where they can make savings. So we're seeing incremental growth every month on the amount of people that are looking to switch their mortgage. Indeed, market stats will tell us that more than 500 people are switching their mortgage now every month, which is a huge increase, about a 70% increase year on year on what people have been doing. So in KBC, we're offering a number of really competitive products and a €3,000 cash offer for people to switch to us.
Okay, so that means if somebody switches their mortgage, they'll get €3,000 back, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are some costs involved with switching, you know, some legal costs, etc. But 3,000 covers that and more.
Okay, very good.
So it's a good incentive for people to move.
So now that we know that banks like KBC are open for switching, what is the first thing that somebody who's thinking of switching, what's the very, very first thing that they need to do?
So I would say the first thing is for people to educate themselves, both on where they are in their own mortgage journey and then also what else is out there. So first things, look at at how much is left in your own mortgage, and what rate you're paying on that mortgage. And then, you know, using websites like Bonkers.ie, have a look at what else is out there and make some comparisons. Our own website, KBC.ie, has a really handy calculator. 4 easy steps will show you how much you can save on what you're paying today compared to what we could offer, and make those savings. And
where will someone find, it might seem like a simple question, but where will someone find out what rate they're paying and how much they have remaining? Will that be on a mortgage statement?
Sure,
Can they find that online?
Yeah, it's on a mortgage statement, but purely by contacting your current provider, they'll be able to tell you exactly what's left and what rate you're paying and how much that is costing you each month. So
then once you know what's remaining on your mortgage and then the rate that you're paying, and then you've used a site like Bonkers.ie or KBC to find out how much you could save, what's the next step? So what do you need to do then?
So in terms of applying to switch mortgage, it's a much simpler process than if you were starting afresh. Obviously, if you've been paying your mortgage already with another provider, from our point of view, it's much easier to do the credit assessment. So you've been paying your mortgage already. We can see that through your accounts. So all we require really is an application form, one recent payslip, and 3 recent current accounts that shows us that you're in good financial health. And then it's a very simple credit application process that takes maybe 2 to 3 days, and then you're on the road to switching. And
will evaluation need to be done? Because that's a word that you hear a lot in terms of mortgage applications. So what is evaluation, and is it needed when you're switching mortgage?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's probably the next step. Once the credit application piece is fulfilled, then what we'll do is we'll appoint one of our independent valuers to go out and assess the property to make sure that it's worth what we're saying it's worth in the credit application. And this is a really important step when it comes to choosing your rate, etc. So you know, we use a loan to value approach for our pricing. So depending on how much equity you have in your home, that will mean you can avail of the best pricing. So for instance, if the loan to value on your home is 60%, you can avail of rates from as little as 2.5% for 2-year fixed or 2.6% for 5-year fixed, which are really the lowest rates that are out there.
And how often or how long does the switching process take? Because I think a lot of people, you know, they'll remember the first time they switched mortgage and they'll think of it maybe with a little bit of fear or trepidation. Is it quicker when you're switching? Because you've already said that it's not quite as document heavy.
Yeah, no, it's not quite as document heavy, and the process from a credit point of view is much simpler because we can see what's going on. So really, as I say, the bank piece is quite quick and can be done, you know, within a couple of days. I suppose there's still a legal part to go through, and that may be where it can take a little bit of time, but certainly it's a much easier process than starting out on a new
then I
journey.
guess the cash incentive that you offer will recoup some of those legal fees, won't
Yeah,
it?
absolutely. Like I think on average, if for maybe a €300,000 mortgage, to switch, a solicitor will charge anywhere between 800 and 1,200 euros.
Okay.
So €3,000 is well going to cover that.
Okay. And then of course you'll save money by switching to a cheaper rate as well, won't you?
That's really the ambition, isn't it? To reduce your monthly repayments. And certainly when we talk to our customers and prospective customers, what they're looking for is that long-term value with the lower monthly repayment, and that's where we're aiming.
And what could somebody save by switching? So let's say maybe somebody has, a typical first-time buyer, they're taking out a mortgage of maybe €250,000. What could they save if they switched?
Yeah, so look, depending on where they are, we would certainly see people making savings anything from 150 to €250, depending on the size of mortgage and also where they're coming from. So there's a lot of savings to be made on a monthly basis.
It's a huge amount over the course of a year, even over the course of a month. I mean, we talk about the budget giving us back only €5 a week, and then you could save maybe €250 a month tax free. Yeah. So it's huge.
Absolutely, and look, you can see it in consumer behaviour. They're not just looking at changing utility provider or mobile phone operator. People are more and more looking at their mortgage proposition and seeing where they can make savings there.
And another question that comes up is around mortgage protection. So everyone who takes out a mortgage by law usually needs to have mortgage protection as well. Does that need to be changed? How does that work?
No, so if you're switching your mortgage, you don't need to take out new mortgage protection or new home insurance. It travels with the mortgage. What you do need to do is inform your current provider, your insurance provider, that you're switching, so as they can make that change in their documentation. But I think in many cases, you mentioned first-time buyers, so somebody who started on their mortgage journey maybe 4 or 5 years ago, circumstances may have changed, so it's a good opportunity to maybe reassess that you have the right protections in there. Maybe there's kids involved now, so maybe you need to do something a little bit different. And again, we've got a range of products there, and some discounts for home insurance too, if people come to us and talk to us about that.
Very good. And are there any watch outs? So if somebody is thinking of switching mortgage, anything that they need to be aware of or that they need to kind of watch out for?
I think, look, your financial health is important no matter what you're doing, but particularly with something as big as a mortgage. So I mentioned current account statements. So just for people to make sure that their current account is in good health, that they're not missing any direct debits, that their mortgage payments are up to date, or any other loan facilities that they might have, that payments are up to date. Maybe stay away from the online gambling for a couple of months, if that's your penchant. But really, it's just making sure that it looks good on the current account statements.
Very good. And how long usually does it take people to switch? How many days or how many weeks, provided the documentation is ready? And
yeah, look, I suppose it's a good question and a fair question. We start the clock when we have all the documentation. As I say, our credit assessment for that only takes a couple of days, and really then it's back to the legal, back to the customer and their legal provider to see how long it will take then. So that can be a couple of months, it can be a couple of weeks, it depends on the solicitor. Really.
So just to recap then, if somebody is thinking of switching, the first step is find out what you're paying at the moment, then go on to Bonkers.ie or KBC and find out what you could be saving, and then get in touch with KBC and start the process from there.
Absolutely. We've a call centre that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we've 16 hubs around the country. We're only delighted to talk to people and bring them through the journey. Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Conor. Thank you. So that was Conor from KBC Ireland talking about mortgage switching. If you want any more information, you can always head over to our blog, or you can use our calculator to see what you could save. So thanks a million for watching, and if you have any comments, you can head over to our social media channels or contact us below. So see you all again next week.